All right, so let's take a look at an example. After each example, what I want you to do is you're going to go and do your question. We're going to do this in a specific order, hopefully so that it can kind of make sense. We're going to always find number 1 as domain. So go ahead and write that as number 1. Then we're going to find the vertex. So write that as number 2. After the vertex, we're going to find the axis of symmetry. Right, that's number 3. After axis of symmetry, we're going to find out increasing, number 4, decreasing, number 5. After those, we're going to find the range, number 6. After that, we're going to find the X-intercepts, number 7. After that, we're going to find positive, number 8, or negative, number 9. After that, we're going to find the Y-intercept. This will be number 10. After that, we're going to find end behavior, 11, and we'll do average rate of change last. And this one, let's make the question between the interval 4 to 5. Oops. Now, notice this is not xy because of these closed parentheses. This means x1, x2. So not x1, y1 because these are not parentheses. So the interval between x1, x2. All right, now that we know that, let's go ahead and find our domain. Again, after each one, pause the video and do example 2. So what is the domain of this graph? Well, anytime you're dealing with our graphs, domain is the x. It goes on forever this way, forever this way. It is always going to be all real numbers. Okay, so in algebra 1, linear, quadratic, exponential is always going to be all real numbers, with the exception of real word problems. Next, we're going to... All right, pause this video and complete domain in example 2. Next, we're going to find the vertex. Okay, so by definition, what is the vertex? The vertex is where the curve changes from going down to going up, or going up to going down. So it changes right here. This is the vertex. So let's count that out. That's 2. This is negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so the vertex, remember you have to write x and then y. You must write it like that. Your vertex is 2 and your y value is negative 9. Pause the video and complete vertex in example 2. Once you have the vertex, I'm not even going to look at the graph. I can tell you my axis of symmetry is always, it must be x equals the x value of the vertex, which is 2. And I'm going to prove that to you. So the axis of symmetry is where this line, where there is a split between left and right that looks exactly the same. And you can see it happens at 2. And it must be x equals 2 because that's a line. After that, pause the video and complete axis of symmetry in example 2. After that, you're going to go into number 4, all right? Where is it increasing and decreasing? Because everything that we're about to ask has to do with a vertex. So where is it increasing? All right, so from this vertex, on this side, it's increasing. On this side, it's decreasing. So it decreases to here, increases to here. So on the left of the vertex, right? On the left, what is it doing? It's decreasing. On the right, it's increasing. So on the left, so what we'll do is this. You'll do x, x, and then you take your axis of symmetry, which is 2, right? So you write in the x-axis of symmetry, but now you're writing, is it on the left or the right that it's decreasing? So let's look at my axis of symmetry. On the left-hand side, what is this doing? Decreasing. So on my left-hand side, left, it's decreasing. This is left, right? Because this is the arrow for left. All right. On my right-hand side, what is it doing on the right? You can see it's doing what? It's increasing. So again, you go vertex, axis of symmetry is just the x value, x equals. You come to increasing and decreasing, and you're going to change the equals to left and right. And then the video and complete increasing, decreasing in example 2. And then after that, we're going to go into our range. Our range also has to do with a vertex. Remember, our range is y values, bottom to top. All right, so the bottom is our vertex, right? The bottom, and remember, I want my y value, so I take my negative 9 to the top. So this is negative 9 to infinity, and let's deal with my parentheses here. I'm going to have it closed, and here I'll have it open. Pause the video and complete Y-intercept in example 2. Okay. After that, that's everything you find with a vertex. So from the vertex, you find 1, 2, 3, 4 things. Now we're going to go into our X-intercept. All right, where does it cross the x-axis? So I'm going to write this as coordinates. I can see crosses 2 times, so I'm write 2 times. All right, so there's this crossing right here, which is negative 1, and this one right here, which is 3, 4, 5. All right, so writing those down, so it's going to be negative 1, 0, and then also 5, 0. Once The video and complete X-intercepts in example 2. Once you find your X where it crosses, you can then find where it's positive and negative. So positive and negative, remember, it is above the x-axis, below the x-axis. So let's take a look at above the x-axis first. So let's look at positive. So I'm going to block this out. You can see those are separate, right? So that means I'm going to have two answers. So these are separate answers. All right, which means I'm going to have two answers, right? So I have my two answers. I take my ruler, I put it to the x-axis, and you can see the graph is on which side? On the left-hand side. So this one is left of -1. Okay, then the other one you can see is to the right of my ruler. So this is to the right of 5. Okay. Again, we're going to take a look at negative. So where is this graph below the x-axis? You can see that's where it's below. And you can see it's all one motion. So this is together. So together, when you're doing it together, you just put it together. Least to greatest, -1, 2, 5. -1, 2, 5. All right. After you found, so the red goes together. Now pause the video and complete positive and negative in example 2. Now we're going to go ahead and find y-intercept just by looking at it. This doesn't go with anything. So y-intercept where it crosses the y-axis right here. This is -1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is -5. So I'm going to write the y-axis in x and then y terms. So x is 0, y is -5. Or you can write y equals -5. But I think this is how Delta Math wants you to write it. Find video and complete y-intercept in example 2. End behavior, what's happening at the end of the graph? So let's look at the end. So here's the end of the graph. Where is that going? To infinity. Here's the other end of the graph. Where is that going? To infinity. Okay, so how do I write that out? So what this means is as x goes to negative, and as x is doing this, y is going, on the left-hand side, y is going up. And then as x is going to positive infinity, as x is going this way, y is going up too. So the negative means left. As x on the left-hand side, what's happening? And this means on the right, positive. So if I look on the left, what's the answer there? Infinity. So if as x is going to the left, it's infinity. As x is going to the right, it's also infinity. The video and complete end behavior in example 2. Okay. Then finally, average rate of change is just slope within a given interval. So let's go ahead and write out our slope form that we usually write out. So parentheses minus parentheses over parentheses minus parentheses. All right, now I have my x values. Okay, so remember this is y2, y1, x2, x1. I have my x values, but I need to find out what my y values. So my x values, I'm going to go ahead and put them in, 5 for x2 and 4 for x1. So let me go find my y value when x is 5. So here's x is 5, what's y? 0. When x is 4, what's y? Where's the graph? -5. Okay, straight put that up in a calculator, but I'm going to do it by hand. This is going to be +5 over 5 minus 4 is 1, which is equal to 5. So the average rate of change is equal to 5. All right, so you are responsible to complete all of example 2, and we're going to look at how to do the video and complete average rate of change in example 2 for the interval 1, 5. Let's practice.